Isn't this cool music? It's Jeremy Black. I'm just getting ready, playing a little music. This one's called Watch Your Back. So I got a wolf cut, and when it's down to here, it'll be really cute. Good grief. Rave, whoop, whoop. It's a Korean wolf cut, you guys. This will be the last one, and then we'll cover the... Yeah, thank you. Claire. Wait, let me turn this off. Oh my God. Okay, one more. And shoot, my fan isn't in here. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys. If you think that's easy, it's not. Okay. I might have to go get my fan. Ooh. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. It's been a little while since I've done a live. And I'm not going to say what, but I'm dealing with something medically for me. It's a little bit scary. It's nothing horrible, but I'm getting some, a little procedure done on, it's not even a test. Well, it's a procedure and then a test on Tuesday. And then I'm getting my blood pressure drawn on Monday. So hi to everybody that's here. Wow, Moonlight Stargazer. Hi. Long time no see. Maria G's here. Hi, Luna. Wow, you people are so nice to come in. How far up can I go? Martin Rose here. Hit the like. Thank you. So what I had done, wait, let me go up a little more. Lindsley, hey Tina, hi. Barbara Thompson's here. Thank you so much, all of you. It's nice to know, that people will jump in and care. Hi, Freeside. He says, howdy. Christian Thomas, can you snore? Yeah, apparently I can. My daughter's heard me a few times through the wall. Yeah, that's when I'm in a really deep sleep. The Rock and Jaspy. Hello. Hi, you guys. Hi to the new faces in here. Daniel Berry Sports, of course. Hi, everyone. I hope I didn't miss anyone's name. I might have, but yeah, so you know how if you say what's going on with you with your health, people just run with it, right? Just run. Anyway, thanks to the 8 in the, we're still in the Philippines on episode 28 now, and you're riding on the back of lizards, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of lizards crawling around. One was heading up a tree to these baby birds in eggs, and both Shaylin and I were like, we forwarded it ahead. We can't handle animals of any kind getting hurt. We understand it's the food chain, but especially me. And every time they grab a chicken out of the crate, we're just like, all the way up until they're done eating it and all this. But anyway, my hair, I know it looks kind of different. She left the bangs and angled them a little bit to this side. And her name is Julia. And she's a very sweet young girl, maybe 30. She has 2 kids, and she's cut my hair for a while. And it took an hour because I kept wanting her to take more off. So it's more like a shag. And I don't even know if you can see the back or if anyone even really cares. But these are more thinner pieces. And it got shorter, longer. And then, so anyway, and she cut it with a razor. Because I have very thick hair. She actually thinned it out a little bit and cut it with a razor. And the haircut I chose on Google before I went is called a Korean wolf cut. Yeah. And men and women over there have this style. Now, if this wasn't curling right here in, look at that. I think that's so cute. It's like a long shag, but I have these natural curls, right? So in a couple of months, it'll look like that, and I'll like it even better. But I got it done about a week ago because the thickness and the fullness, I could hardly wrap around my ears. If I still want to do a little ponytail thing ever, look at, I can still do it, if I want. But I wanted something a little bit younger looking, hopefully, than what I had. And yeah, because I don't know about you ladies in chat or even men, but as you get older, you'd like to look a little younger. At least I would. So I'm on StreamYard, you guys. Hello to the 15 on the lizards in the Philippines watching from the trees and the bushes. They're so cute. Shaylin and I are like, or I am. I'm like, is that a snake? And she's like, no, that's a lizard because their tongues shoot out. Now, I didn't know that snakes, lizards maybe are the same way. They smell with their tongues, and that's why they're shooting out all the time. And I didn't know that. So what we're also doing is we're learning about the different species, animals and everything over on these islands, and it's really kind of fun. Neither of us last night knew what language the Philippines spoke. I mean, I knew, it was Filipino, but what is that, right? Is that kind of a Mandarin Chinese? That's what I said. And then she said, I can't remember now what my daughter said, but we looked it up and it's like English is their second language, which, I didn't know. So they know English quite well. Mandarin Chinese is another. And I think it's Tatanga or something is another one. They speak 7 different languages. Anyway, you guys, I'm just going to say it right here. I don't care if it sounds like grifting. I don't care. What's really weird is that I got monetized and I wasn't planning on it. But my daughter said the day that I decided to look into it again at night, and it said I qualified and I was able to, because I know how to copy and paste now, 2 years later, whatever. I mean, I've known for about a year. I was able to do the AdSense and do everything it asked for. And it took of looking at little videos and making sure I'm hitting the right stuff. And do I want advertisements? And do I want members and all this? I looked into members even. And I put down my price of $4.99 because $2.99 isn't really that much. And some people charge $6.99. And I hit that and I looked through and then I was like, I don't think I want to do members. Not quite yet. I'm a small channel. I'm not even quite 4,000, but I'm getting closer and I'm amazed at the subscribers. I think from I've been over on Mark Terry's, Mark the Shark, Mr. T's panel a couple of times, and he always puts my link in. And then I noticed my subs have gone up, so that's really sweet. So if you guys are willing to sub up to him, Mista, Mistah, and I'd appreciate it if someone can put the link in. That would be great. But anyway, I got monetized, and then about, I think it was like 3 days later, we found out that, and I mean, I was freaking out. I was just sobbing. I wasn't screaming in anger, but my son's SSI is going to be over. It's going to be over. They said he could reapply like in July or something. But I'm just going to say it right here. It's because I believe our president looking into things, But it's also, see, when we got the trust fund, I had to put it in an account for him, but I took it out, right? Because I'm co-signer, and I only put 1,000 in. So now I'm having to tell housing this, and she was real nice, and everything, but I had to send her papers of that, and
Hey, Mom.
anyway, that's ending either on December 1st or January 1st. So I'm just going to say it. I'm monetized now, and anything anyone donates to me is so appreciated. And it's very scary. But what I'm trying to do is get my rent lowered, right? Because he's not going to get his SSI, so it'll be lowered than the amount it is now. And I'll say it right here. It's 821 right now per month, which is actually cheap because I'm on housing. So yeah. Anyway, I've been all week. I've been getting my ducks in a row, getting the paperwork out for. Anyway, I'll know what the new amount is. Hopefully, in a few days, I'll get an email. But it will be lower because he won't be getting his 967 in SSI. He still blocked his father. Still not talking to him. Because he said some worse things this time than ever to his son. Sent texts, big, long, mean, nasty texts, um, basically saying things like, one of them was because his friends were younger than him. We're talking 10 years ago. He's leaning on the what side. Is that sick or what? And that devastates my son. So I've been really emotional for a little while, and then dealing with a procedure that's coming up, and the results from that. And so anyway, I'm getting my ducks in a row. I got copies of the papers, so because when the animals are spayed, you can get help at the Humane Society. My friend Terry, that I know in this town since 1991, told me about that. And I can get some free cat food and litter now and then, because especially when food stamps were no more, which apparently they are now, because I guess apparently a judge in Rhode Island said this is kind of inhumane of what he was doing, not letting people eat that depend on those. So, because we don't have to pay for a washer or dryer anymore, and I have been for 20 some years here, all of us, I had 50 extra dollars to buy food, but that's it for the whole month. And, but now we got those back, and I'll see if mine come in on the 9th tomorrow. I'm hopeful. But to make sure that my little, what is it called, super chat thing worked, AK-47 sent me $1.99, and it worked. And I couldn't believe it. I just, about freaked. I wanted to scream, but my daughter was asleep and her bedroom's on the other side of the wall. And then I noticed he sent one more. So I had $5 in it, and, or no, $4 in it. And so I need 96 more to be able to have some money go on my card through YouTube. So apparently you have to have 100 before they start. I guess it's one time, or maybe it's 100 each time, and then you get some money. See, I'm not quite sure how that works. But I know you got to have 100. You can't just like, someone can't just give you $50 and then you get 50. Now, the other thing I learned is it used to be 40%, I believe, that we get, and 60% YouTube gets. Now it's 60% us and 40 them. So that's a good thing, unless I'm mistaken on that. So I don't care. People put up their wish lists, and I've never done that. And we have these animals, and we need a roof over our head. And like I said, if anybody ever wants to help, if it's even, I'm serious, $1 a month, I don't care what it is, anything will help us. And it'll go to rent. Because for one thing, rent here per month in this 3-bedroom apartment where I've been since 2001 now is $2,254 full price per month. And again, ours being on housing is only $821. It used to be $871. So that's a lot less. So, we're blessed and we're grateful. And the reason we're really surviving at all, feeding the cats, and if we, if we need another toilet paper, even, right? Anything, or dish soap or laundry soap, I do get my Social Security, because when I turned 62 a couple years ago, or a year ago, because I'm 63 now, I get $216 a month. So it was $211, and then on the first it went up to $216. And I do pay my daughter's phone, so really I have $186 to last the whole month for everything, toiletries, everything. And I know, it's just literally day by day. And the weird thing is, it was her idea for my daughters, to look into monetization again. And then it was just a few days after that we got the letter saying that because of the trust fund thing. Now, back to that, like I told the housing lady, I said, I never put more than, because if he gets $967 a month, right? And the most you can have is $2,000, that's almost $1,000, and that's what we called it. So I put $1,000 per month, which is quite a bit. But he needed a computer chair. He needed a bed. Him and my daughter were on the floor on mattresses for years, even me. And then I got this wooden thing, and Shaylin put her mattress on that for a while. And now, of course, his mattress, a spring was coming through, and he's afraid he's going to get poked. So now, just 2 days ago, now he doesn't have a mattress, and that's in storage, because it's a squiggly thing like this coming out kind of the side and whatever, and it is really sharp on the end. I told him we could put, what is that stuff called, that tape, duct tape on it, and he's like, no. So now we need a mattress. And it, doesn't it seem like it just, when it rains, it pours? But I told her, we were very careful, right? We didn't want anything to happened to our housing or anything like that. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. I didn't see it on the top. Love you, Tina. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I'm not on mute now, right? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's. Oh, thank you, Luna. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Luna. Love you, sweetie, she says. Thank you so much. Hi, Wind and Wind Designs. Hi there. Wow, thanks, you guys. I feel like a beggar. You know, I don't want to. Wanda Steves, I'm good. I've been so busy at home with repairs being done, finally trying to declutter and throw out. How are you doing? Wanda, Maria, recovering from another surgery. I'm finally happy with the outcome. However, I'm struggling to eat since the second surgery. You are, Wanda? Wanda Steves is from Canada, you guys. And my story, you know, is about beer. New Zealand. I think he was 24. I don't think he was 26. But anyway, took one sip of a beer in Canada that had liquid. Can I even say it on here now that I better spell it? Liquid METH in it. And he died. And then they found it in syrups in Canada. I don't know if you know this, Wanda. And canola oil, liquid METH. Prayers for Wanda Steves. You can barely eat. I know you've had all that. How do I see? I haven't done StreamYard in so long. Wait, on stage. Oh, okay. You're not on stage. Your thing is. How do I? Okay. How do I? Okay. So you're not a beggar, my friend. Thank you. Well, you know, people think I've always had help from my mom. No. Well, she offered when she was alive about 8 years ago, and it was 40 a month, and I so appreciated it. And then she moved it up to 80 a month about 4 years later, and then it was 100. And you guys, that's not that much. And you know, so, you know, and I'm going to say this right here. Shame on you, Nicolina, shame on you to say that my mom was disappointed in me. That really hurt, even though I acted like it didn't. She was up on panel with me on Mark Terry's, and she was the invited guest or whatever, the main person. And then she said, he put the StreamYard in, so about a week ago. And he said, what? Nobody's grabbing the link? I didn't even grab it. And then she said, see, everyone's afraid. Nobody would dare come up with me up here. Boom, I grabbed that frickin' link. So anyway, she said that, and it really hurt because my mom is proud of me. I've never had child support from either of the fathers, not Parker's dad, and we haven't been together since Shaylin was 5. So how many years is that? She's 21 now, so 13, 14, 15, 17. I don't know. I can't even think. No, since 2003. 2003. Because that's when I thought we got divorced, but it was 2010. So the second time I found out, our second marriage was 15 years long. I just wasn't around him because we were separated but I was with Shaylin's father trying to make it work, having a new little baby at 41. I know, Martin Rowe. It's what the F is wrong with people. That's why my title is in red exclamation points. And, this isn't putting Canada down or anything. I'm actually so glad Wanda Steves is here because she's a mod and a supporter and a friend of mine. And this isn't dissing Canada. This is, wait till you see the article if you guys haven't looked into it. They showed a storage unit full of these beers, cans of beer. And my thumbnail, I'll show you, plus I'll show you on here. In fact, I'll show you right now I don't know why the super chat things aren't showing up at the top. So when they ever come in, I can thank you right away. Oh, they know that's going to hurt you. Yeah, and this, I had to swallow my pride. When Shaylin was a baby, I would push her in the stroller and go to a place called the Hope House and get clothes for her. And they weren't tattered. Some of them still had the price tags on them, but she always looked nice at preschool. I'm not ashamed to say that all these years I've reached out for help because I've had to. The other stipulation to our divorce, Mike and I were never married, but the second time to Joe was that he wouldn't have to pay me any alimony. And I was just like, okay. I just wanted the divorce, and I wanted at least half custody. I wanted full custody of my son. He was around 11-ish and everything then, but we split it. But in all honesty, I had him the most. Now, one of us had to be primary custodian person to decide, like, if they're on meds and what school they go to, but you can't, the stipulation, of course, was don't take him to Iowa, right? Don't move to the Midwest. And I didn't. I stuck to that because I didn't want to lose my son or end up in court or, I could have given my son to his dad and gone and lived near my mom and my dad and then stayed away. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Moonlight Stargazer. You guys are so sweet. I just don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I almost didn't even do StreamYard. I don't even know how comfortable I am with all of this. You know what I mean? It's like, it says, oh, okay, it says starred 3. So that there's a star on the corner I just noticed. Thank you, Moonlight Stargazer. Thanks, you guys. Times are hard for everybody. I'm just trying to reach 100 so I can get the 60 or whatever I'm supposed to get. And, I put my card in and all this, but yeah, so, I sacrificed my happiness with my family so I could take care of my son. And that's what's important. Your children come first. You need to put yourself, well, not first, but pretty much second. Well, I don't know, however it works, but children come before the alcohol and the drugs. And if you have a problem, try to get help because more than likely your children may turn into what you used to be even, because of the genetics too, Thank you so much, everybody, so much. I'm just in awe, really. And more than likely, I will mention it, but not such a long detail each time I do a StreamYard because I don't know if people really realize I'm monetized. And I'm going to come right out and say it's so I can get a check towards rent. I'm just going to say it, you guys. I'm swallowing my I was going to say humble pie, but I think I am being humble. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. Got a lot on my mind. As you can see, this is why I haven't gone live. I haven't gone live because I have a lot on my mind. It's like I feel like just telling you what my procedure is, but then people will blow it out of proportion. So I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. All right. You lost your pride giving birth, says Maria. Wow. Yeah, I just couldn't believe she said that. And Nicolina, and I just said, well, that's not true because my mom, I revered her and I loved her and she loved me. I was her firstborn. And for years, she felt really guilty for leaving me and Ashley with her ex, meaning my dad, for those 4 years from age of 10 to 14. I mean, she talked to me about it, started crying. She was in her late 60s, 70s on the phone. It's 20 some years ago. And I said, Mom, it's okay. I mean, I knew you weren't there, but I almost thought it was the norm. I mean, I did. Like I thought it was sort of the norm not having your mom around when you're that young. But oh, hi Janice. Thank you. It was a real low blow, you guys, because she knew my mom. Just passed in April. I mean, February. What am I saying? My heart attack was April. All right, so thank you so much. So, thanks everyone for being here. Okay, so I didn't even think I was going to cry, but it's like the memories of that night just came back. I did say on her behalf, I did say this. I said, I feel sorry. I have felt sorry for your daughter for a long time. And she's like, oh, really? She's a cruel woman. She's cruel. And the sickest part is she loves to be cruel. I don't really think it's for views for her. I don't think it's, maybe she never got the attention she needed from her own mom or something. She's very weird. Hi Sam Gloves. Hi, welcome. I like gloves. Okay. All right. Well, I don't need to answer all these questions about gloves. Hi Kelly. Thank you. From what I remember, I hate many. We can't help what others think of us, but it's a reflection on them. You got a big heart and are awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, Ann5502. Yeah, so I have a procedure coming on Tuesday, which will take about 40 minutes. And then I'm having my blood pressure done, which has been really good. Really good, you guys. We're talking 116 over what was it, 60 or something. And I said, isn't that a little low? And she said no or something. And I was like, wow. So the meds that I'm on for my heart and blood pressure are really working, right? There's one race, the human race. Thanks, everybody. And thank you for the super chats. It is really kind of fun to see them. Now there's 24. You people aren't in the bushes. You're on top of the lizards that are crawling around the Philippines, watching from the bushes and the trees on Survivor. and they're really cute, and it's not any like a diss or anything. It's just I like to, instead of just saying you're in the bushes watching, I like to mix it up. Um, all right, so I have a picture of this beer, and it's called Honey Bear. And this one man from New Zealand, after a long day at work, I'll read the article, took a sip apparently, or maybe a gulp, and died from liquid METH. And like I said, for the people that just before, but this is for the people that just hopped in, they found liquid METH in canola oil and a syrup of some kind. I don't know what the brands are. Wanda Steves might know. She's from Canada. But apparently we have, or I mean, Canada has a real problem. They're getting these drugs. Well, I better read it. I want to say from Mexico over into Canada. Somebody said, how come the borders aren't watched more closely? Apparently, the stuff that comes in isn't watched, or no, that goes. Well, I got to read the article on that. When you go over their border and in, you're really watched and checked. People coming out aren't as much so, and that is how. Oh, how are the kitties? They're wonderful. And I'm not having them in here, especially with my iPad up on this little table. See, this little table Maggie sent me from the UK like a year and a half ago, and it's really nice because they'll knock it over. You know, they want to rub on it and rub on me and that kind of thing. So, but I read this and I was like, I mean, you know, I used to drink beer and in fact, Canadian beer. Now, that was in the 80s, right? I'm sure you guys have heard of Molson. And what are the other Canadian ones? I don't think Rolling Rock is Canadian, or maybe it is. Um, so my thumbnail will be this beer, and here it is. Now, I tried to really zero in. Oops, why is it doing this? See what I mean? Why does it do that? Why won't it just stay? What a stupid. All right, can you see it there? It says Honey Bear, and I think it has a leaf on it, and it just looks like a happy thing to drink, kind of, in red and blue. Now, why does it do that? Why is it doing that? Yeah, it does. It has a leaf above the word Honey Bear. And the stupid thing will not for the life of me. All right, so I'm going to show you again. As close as I can. Oh, good grief. We can see it anyway. Much love, chat and mod. There's Mark T. Hi, Mark. Wow. Yeah, so you were monetized, and I'm monetized now. Mark T333. If you guys will check him out, sub up to him. He's got such a good voice. Such a good voice. He's asked to go to restaurants or bars or bar restaurants like I saw last night and sing by himself to like karaoke or even a band. He's been singing for 40 years or something. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that well, I mentioned that Nicolina really hurt my feelings up on your panel when she said your mother's disappointed. She didn't say ashamed. She said disappointed in you. And I distinctly know she's not, because I've never had any kind of child support or anything given to me. Um, yeah. So there's Mark's link. There you go. And he's really helped me out with subs too. Thank you for that, Mark. But he's from Alabama. He's 55 and he can sing anything and everything perfectly in tune, belting it out. He's traveled and performed his whole life, and he has a channel now. And he's good at rapping. I call it raunchy rap, but that's okay. Not all of it is. Not all of it's raunchy, but I can be raunchy too. So, oh yeah, Martin Rowe has his channel too. Go ahead and drop your. No, she meant it, Janice. She meant it, but I blurted out after that. I think it was after because I didn't want to go up and do low blows because that's instantly what she does. That's her MO. Bitch. Kept saying bitch, you this bitch. Finally I said, is your daughter there or something? And she said, no, she's at the Y or something practicing whatever. And I said, I feel sorry for her. And I'm going to say it, I still do. Even if she's doing good in school, psychologically, I feel sorry for her. And hi, Killing Time. How are you? Wow, Killing Time's in Nebraska. Unsubbing? What are you unsubbing to, Moonlight Stargazer? Nicolina? Yeah, so many people have channels. Here's a little, see, here's a little more on METH Canada. Yes, I keep blabbing about it and I need to get to the article. Now you tell me I'm subsidized. What? Well, I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Mark, by saying raunchy. You probably don't feel bad anyway. Uh, okay. Um, oh, you were joking. Oh, okay. Moonlight Stargazer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love animals too. And, you know, even those cute little monkeys in the Philippines, that instantly snatch, those big mantises, or they're not that big, those big mantises just and eat them. I'm just like, I mean, I know it's the food chain, but that's not the point, you know? Anyway, okay, so let me get to this. Um, yeah, so, I'll just say it again, his SSI going away either on the 1st or the 1st of January, the 1st of December. I'm not really sure. And then having to send things to housing because I'm trying to have that lowered so we can somehow pay. I got a lot going on in this household, and that's another reason I can't go live every day. My kids are here. They're not grown and out and about. Or I could stream all day and into the night and everything if it was just me. But I I mean, if I have to go out there and get a part-time job, then I will. But my job is here, and I take care of every animal and everything. Now, my daughter, she vacuumed yesterday. She helps me bring garbage down. We did. We went to the food bank. We went to the Salvation Army. And actually, after my doctor's appointment, I went there and What's really nice is my neighbors that I usually pay $15 to go anywhere in town, even if it's a mile away, because that's how much cabs are. But it's still less for me because it's 15 there and not another 15 back, right? So my neighbor's making some money on gas and I'm saving $15 from a cab getting back because, he and his girlfriend wait there. But we went to the food bank and it was okay. I'm not complaining at all, but it was so weird, you guys. I wrote my name down. I wrote my kids' names down, even though they're not kids, they're adults. And then I handed her the thing, and then she gave me an orange card for 3 people in a household. So in my brain, I'm going, oh, okay, I'll probably be able to get 3 things off each shelf, right? No. I was able to get 5 produce and 10 tomatoes and 2 or 3 bags of lettuce, that kind of thing. But then when it came to food, it was very, very sparse. For one thing, it was an hour from 1 o'clock and they closed at 1. It was pouring rain outside. There were a few people behind me. I had a cart and it was so weird, you guys. It's like 1 milk and 1 little sandwich. I mean, on my orange card, it didn't say 2 for 3 people. It said 1. So I'm thinking, okay, families, parents that have like 5 kids, what do they get? 3 things off the shelf? It was so strange. And then when I got to like the top ramen, and we have some, there were all these packages open, right, of those top ramens, like 50 of them or however many. My card said 1. So I took 1. I didn't sneak 2. I didn't take 3. You know what I mean? I took 1. And then I went around the corner and got bread. And you could have a little more of that stuff. That was nice. So I got 2 long baguettes, 1 for my daughter, 1 for my son, and another thing of bread and a couple of desserts. And then you go to another area and there was like 1 little applesauce sitting there on 3 shelves, you guys. 3 shelves were completely empty with 1 little applesauce that you get out of the things, and I left it for someone else. So it was weird. It was weird to see food banks in the beginning of all this that low. And then when I was leaving, I got to pick some flowers. They were kind of dying, but I did. And these are the flowers. I don't even know what they are. Maybe someone in chat wants to type it in. I don't know. What are they? These things. Are they a kind of daffodil? See? All right. So I put the food in and cut the bottom, and I don't know if they're poisonous to the kitties. So they're in here. And then they had all these bananas. And I said, is it okay if I take some bananas when I was leaving? And she said, yes, take all the bananas you want. Well, I took 1 thing like that of like 5 bananas. Tina, absolutely different. Looks like flowers. Are they lilies, Martin Rowe? Our main QB is out with injury. Our main QB? What is QB? What is QB? Oh, orchids? Did those yellow ones look like orchids? Luna says lilies. So, you know what? It's like really kind of neat. Killing time. I'm from Nebraska. We play in Pasadena tonight, 8 p.m. Pasadena. That's California, right? Right? Go Huskers. Yes, go Huskers. I've been to Nebraska like 1 time in my whole life. My dad, way back, had a girlfriend there. That's why we ended up. And then we went to Peony Park, which she said is no longer there. Weird. Why did that happen? Did you see that? Wendy McCone, 2761. Hi, guys. Long time no see. Which Wendy are you? I'm so confused. Wanda says, good night, friends. Oh, that was at 8:28 and it's 3:32. So, wow. Wait, no, 3:28 and it's 3:32. So just a few minutes ago. Okay, Wanda, thank you for hopping in, and I really hope you feel better and you start to be able to eat. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the other thing. The other thing is my neighbor on November 2nd, so we're looking at 6 days ago, had a stroke. The person and his girlfriend that drive me places, it's her mother. I've known her for 14 years. She was home alone. She's 75. And does she smoke? Yes. I talked to her about it because she was told a few years ago she had COPD and even AFib more recently. But she said, I smoke barely half of my cigarette. And I said, okay, I wasn't going to reprimand her. And apparently, her daughter's boyfriend had to bring her daughter to the ER because her foot was just really hurting or something. And then they went for a drive. I asked him how long. He said about 3 hours. And when they got home, he asked her a question, Rosie, my neighbor, and she didn't answer. And he thought that was odd. But then he heard this slight mumbling. And she didn't know for sure what was going on. Because when you're having these things, you don't know, is it a stroke? Is it a heart attack? Is it an aneurysm? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know for sure. So he called 911. She was trying to get up. She fell down. Then she couldn't move the right side of her body. And so in essence, he kind of saved her life, by calling 911 because he was going to take her, but she fell down and couldn't even move. So they came, and it was weird because Shaylin and I were watching Survivor, and, we're way up on a top floor in these apartments. We see an ambulance leaving, and it didn't have the siren or anything, but it was leaving, and I had no idea it was my neighbor. And I tried to call her earlier to find out if her food stamps were working, because she gets them on the 2nd. And she didn't answer, which was odd to me. But I figured, well, she's maybe off at the store still or something. She could have been in trouble then. It was only a couple hours before they got back. So, check on your neighbors every now and then. I mean, I go down and say hi to her, or when I'm coming back from checking the mail or whatever. I'd say now, with it being cold and rainy, 2 times a week. Used to be a lot more. Before the C disease, I would even hang out with her in her apartment, and we'd watch a police show. Or there's one show, she really likes the live police things where they, you know what I mean, they film it live or whatever in different states, whatever that's called. She likes that a lot. She's a really nice person. And, her one daughter's living with her. The other one's out doing her life and or having her life. Her brothers and sisters don't pay much attention. But this was so serious. Her son, okay, I'm not saying names, but her son, who has refused to even acknowledge her on holidays, her birthday, on Facebook, anything, even an acknowledgement of hello, are you okay, anything, in 8 years or more, over money, over flipping money, you guys, was at the hospital. Like she literally almost died. The other reason is she couldn't have the TPA medicine like I did for my clot because she was on blood thinners. This is the thing, you guys. You get on blood thinners. I hope they never put me on that. I guess that's if you have blockage and whatnot. I think Jimmy Williams from Dolly Vision, I think he's on blood thinners. I think. I'm pretty sure because he said he bumped his leg once and it was really bruised up or something. So because she's on blood thinners, they couldn't give her this medicine, and they didn't know how to take care of her here at St. Joseph's Hospital, which is a big ass hospital. That's where I went when I had my stress-induced heart attack. You know, they have cardiology and everything there. They had to airlift her to Seattle. She's still there, you guys. She's still in the hospital. So anyway, if anyone wants to think about Rosie, her name's Rosie. She's 75. Maybe she won't touch a cigarette now. I don't know, but she has a feeding tube. And I thought those went in the body, stomach, something. No, hers anyway goes in the nose and then down like that, which I found interesting because I talked to her daughter. So between Rosie's stroke, almost losing her, and more than likely she won't even be coming back. She'll be going into a rehab place or a nursing home, hopefully not for months and months and months. I don't know. And then getting a letter stating my son's SSI is ending. And like I was saying, you know, I transferred the allotted amount he could have to not go over. I explained that to the lady at housing, and I hope to God everything's okay. But I'm finding myself for up to 3 hours just laying in bed going, I mean, what if you not only lose, you know, he loses his SSI, but you lose your housing. I mean, it's just so. And then my procedure I have to have done. But then on the flip side, right, I need to look at the cup half full. Food stamps are back. I'm hoping mine will be on the 9th. We haven't used my son's because we've been to the food bank and everything, and we don't need to now. But we will in a couple of weeks. So that's positive, right? The fact I'm monetized is positive, and that's why I have to be really kind of careful on here too. You know, I don't want to just blurt out swear words because I feel like it, although I know F and B is allowed or something in the TOS terms. But you have to be more careful. And then the other positive thing is hopefully my rent will be lowered, because honestly, it needs to be. If you don't have that income to make it at 800 something a month, it's got to be lowered, and it will, because I spoke to my leasing specialist on the phone. But it's scary times for everyone, and I'm going to just say it, you guys. I would rather go through all of this, than just be at a job and get snatched out of my car or off the street or whatever for you know, not being a U.S. citizen, thinking it was okay for years, or being in a safe state. You know, those poor people. I saw a picture of a woman driving her car. She looked Hispanic. Her kids were in the car. And ICE, well, it looked like the army fatigue kind of things, but it said ICE, pulled their long rifles, whatever, and just pointed them right at her and her kids were screaming. And I mean, how scary. I mean, it's gotta literally, I mean, I don't know. So that's another whole subject and things I don't agree with. Um, you've rescued many dogs and fed many feral cats, bought shelters for countless animals in needs, killing time. That is wonderful. That is so wonderful. You know, because so many people, right? Well, I've seen it around here. They'll move and leave their animals. Just leave them. It's disgusting. Tina, banana is good for your indigestion. I don't have indigestion. I mean, I've never had any. I had acid reflux one time when I was 35, and I thought I was having a damn heart attack. I really did. And it just burned. And anyway, my ex husband, his dad, brought me to the ER, and it was acid reflux. Thank you. So, okay, and that's the other thing. Like Janice is talking about taxes and stuff. It's not that big of a deal, you guys, that I haven't worked since 1994. And I'll tell you why. That means I worked all through the 80s. Since the age of 18, I had my first job. I was a waitress at different places. Nicolina made such a big deal about this too. Um, and then I worked in 1994, and then I got pregnant in 1995 um, with Parker, and I could be a stay-at-home mom. So why do I have to work? And we were together for 8 of those years, and 7 I raised him on my own. Okay, so I chose to be here for my son when he gets off the bus and that kind of thing. Now, the other thing is, he's always been special needs. He's always had issues in school and ADHD. And I mean, they had him run around the school building when other kids were in math class so he could go back in and just sit there. He had severe ADHD. We took him to a specialist when he was 5. He didn't just have ADHD, it was severe. So then we were, trying to do the meds. We went ahead. Not at the age of 5, of course, but in later elementary school. And he did the Ritalin patch once, the patch, not the pill. And then he did the regular Adderall for a while. And then he did not not Advantage, but it sounds like something like that, Advance, or I don't know. And that worked pretty darn well. He was on that for a whole year. But then he went and he visited his father, and he didn't have as much of an appetite very often. And I said, well, okay. And then he just like stayed off it, because I was sharing him at that point with his dad. So when he was with his dad, he didn't take his meds. And when he was with me, he did. And that can screw up things. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. And then after all that, while I'm taking care of him, I have my daughter. And so now I got 2 kids. So I mean, it's very easy to say to people, well, why haven't you worked in so long? Well, I have. Being a mom and doing everything, and not having a car and not driving and having to itemize everything out and arrange rides and do this and make sure you have money to pay for it is almost harder than just going to a 9 to 5 job. I've done that. I've waitressed for Well, what would that be? 18, 28, over 20 years. And I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I wanted to be a stay at home mom, and that doesn't make me a bad person. Like she was trying to make me feel like I am, you know. And then I'll say it again. I didn't get uh, child support like other people did, not even from Shaylin's dad. And I've said this before. First, it was going to be 400 a month. Then I got a letter saying it was down to 200. Then I got a letter saying it was 100. Then I got another letter. I did, saying 50. And then I got another letter like a month later saying it was 0. But I was okay with that. You know why? He has his issues from his grand mal seizures through his life, and he's on SSI for having damage done to his brain, my daughter's father, and then bipolar on top of it, which we found out while I was, you know, met him and lived with him and everything for those 5 years. Um, you know, you can't get blood from a stone, you know. So I told him I didn't want to do it, but the government was doing it. They were doing it. But it didn't work in my favor. And life would have been really hard for him. Can you imagine? He got 525 a month back then. And if I had gotten 400, he'd have 125 for gas for his car. What, rent? How's he going to pay rent? You know what I mean? So I think everything kind of happens for a reason. Uh, oh, okay. They put you on blood thinners for furred arteries. Furred? Yes, Kelly. Yes, he had to sign I don't know, he had to sign something. The president, I don't even like saying his name anymore. I'm just so disappointed in him. Um, that you know, it's it's not a good thing. So a judge in Rhode Island, yeah, I didn't realize it. My friend Pam was walking by in the dark. I just happened to be looking out to see if it was stopping raining. And I could barely see, and she was walking really slow. I hadn't talked to her in months. I've been trying to reach out to her on a messenger, and she told me. So when we were done talking, I went in, called up, and they were on there. My sons, that's the 3rd. I get mine on the 9th, which is tomorrow. Yeah. Um, you lost, I lost my DTR's dad's death benefits last year because she graduated from high school. Wow. Um, I had to take you guys, and this is the facts, my very last of my trust fund to get marriage certificates. This is what I was working on 3 weeks ago. This is what I mean when I'm busy. So I can get spousal benefits from my ex. I have to do that before I can finish trying to get SSI for my darn tremors, my stress induced heart attack, and my stroke, because that stuff runs in my family. Um, but I have to try to get spousal benefits first. So, in order to do that, I had to have proof I lived with my husband or I was with him for 10 years. And I thought it was 2 years from 1986 to 1988, and then 1995 to 2003 for 8. That's what I thought. But then when I got the ones from 95 to 2003, it said 2010 on the certificate. And I called and I spent half an hour on the phone with the guy while he emailed this woman who told me I had to do both. And I thought, well, you got the documents. It says 2010. That's 5 years over the 10. I don't need to get the ones in Vermont. No, no. She's making me do that. Now, the good thing is the marriage certificate is only $10, but the divorce decree is $69. $69. Or no, $59 on top of the 82 or 83, I think it was 82 for a marriage certificate and divorce decree here in 2010. And then to even find these places, I had to call around different county courts and this and that. And then boom, I was talking to a lady in Seattle without even giving her my case number. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know if he filed my ex in Montesano, somewhere, or Seattle, Olympia. I didn't know. Aberdeen. And she goes, "Is this Megan?" And I just about fell off the couch. I was like, yeah. And she found it. And so the first, and so on top of all that, I'm waiting for my paperwork. This is certified stuff I've paid for. And it was put in a locker. No, the first part I received in the hub, which I thought was weird. I thought, why am I not signing for this or whatever? No, these are actual certified copies in this white envelope in the hub locker down here. I get them. I'm all relieved. I literally spent $15, go down, stick them in the SSI box, go through all this rigmarole where she wants the Vermont and the whatever ones, even though she's got more than 10. I mean, I was in tears with the guy. And it didn't matter. He said, "I'm sorry, this is what she wants, blah, blah, blah." And I even said, well, what if I had never told her I was married in Vermont and then he divorced me and we got married a second time and there were enough years? I said, she wouldn't be asking for this then. She has proof. I even said, "I'm not trying to be rude to you, sir, but I almost think she's embarrassed because she didn't look at the year that it says we were married till 2010. So anyway, that happened. So then I have to order all the Vermont stuff. Well, guess what I got? Guess what I got 2 days ago? Did I get the 1988 divorce certificate that I asked for from the first marriage? No. You know what I got, you guys? Another 2010. I couldn't believe it. And on top of everything, it was lost for like a week. I get a call from the office. I go down there. I'm all excited. I open it up and it's identical to the other one. It did not say divorce 1988. So I called the guy up yesterday on Friday and he said, "We have to give it exactly a month to get to you, and 10 more days if you haven't received it. We will send you the correct one, the 1988, not the 2010. And the problem this is happening is my ex filed in the same place for both divorces. Okay, even though I divorced him in 2010, it's in the Washington Vital Statistics. So this is what I mean, you guys. This is what I'm going through. They're not even sending me the right things. I told them, I said, that's the last of my money. I'm broke. And he said, free of charge, we'll send you the correct year. But he said, it's out of my hands because it's in a different department, blah, blah, blah. He was really nice. So see, where is it? Where's my paperwork? Right here. Okay, now I'm dealing with this stuff. It's such a headache. And I've been on now an hour and 40 minutes and haven't even gotten, did someone sabotage the food? The canola oil and syrup and honey bear beer. All right, now I'm going to get off this whole talk with me. Now you guys know why there's some days where I don't even go live for day after day after day because I need to just sit down, watch some TV with my daughter, or sleep in, or go to bed earlier, or just not deal with talking to anyone but family. All right, so for the ones that came in later, I don't know why this wants to constantly turn. This is the beer with a bear on the front, the leaf above the, okay, forget that. Oh, there's a bigger picture of it, but of course it probably won't stay. Yeah, it won't stay. All right, forget that. All right, so I'm going to get to the article if you guys haven't pulled it up already. And it's in my history. I did this stuff last night because I wanted to, you know, be able to just pull it up and be prepared. Here it is. Oh, the man from New Zealand was 21. This is the guy. Okay, what's going on? Can I even show the word? Look at that.
At a storage unit in Auckland, New Zealand, a man carries out cases of beer from Canada. Just days later, an innocent victim would...
Are you kidding me? Ah, golly. Oh, can someone put the disclaimer?
At a storage unit in Auckland, New Zealand, a man carries out cases of beer from Canada. Just days later, an innocent victim would die from that beer.
My brother was charismatic, the life of the house.
21-year-old Aiden Sagala lived with his sister Angela and brother-in-law Billy in Auckland. One day, Aiden came home with free beer that his boss had given him. He took one gulp.
And he was screaming out, I want my mom, I want my mom. I'm dying, I want mom.
I said, Mom! And I said, yeah, I'm here. I'm here, son. I'm here.
Rushed to hospital, Aiden spent 6 days in a coma. He died of multiple organ failure from a lethal dose of methamphetamine, an illegal and highly addictive synthetic stimulant. Aiden's brother-in-law started dumping out the cans. Some were filled with beer, but not all.
And I was like, hey, wait, this looks like liquid glue that's coming out of this can.
Oh, God.
Police raided the rented storage unit where Aiden's manager had been captured on camera removing cases of beer. An officer videotapes and describes the staggering scene they found inside.
It was very confined. I could barely walk around.
Towering pallets of beer made in Canada, complete with a Maple Leaf logo, and white crystals blanketing almost every surface. Buckets of it. 700 kilos of liquid meth being crystallized.
You have the right to remain silent.
Aiden Segala's manager, later convicted of manslaughter, was getting rid of the excess beer, not knowing some cans still contained meth. New Zealand is in the midst of a meth crisis, and shockingly, Canada is fueling that addiction. The two largest busts in New Zealand history both originated in Canada, hidden in beer and this.
These 713 kilos of meth came from Canada, hidden in maple syrup.
It was kind of sad in some ways that we keep coming and saying we're getting bigger and bigger seizures.
In 2023, New Zealand seized more meth from Canada than anywhere else in the world. In 2024, the most intercepts involved meth from Canada, 171, about 3 meth seizures from Canada every single week.
Just this tonnage coming our way out of Canada.
Detective Superintendent Greg Williams is the director of New Zealand's National Organised Crime Group.
You have a reasonably dynamic organised crime environment in Canada. From what we're seeing, the scale of it, you've got some really significant sophistication up there.
That's it. Thank you, Killing Time, for that nice compliment. I try to be. Okay, that was 2 minutes and 59 seconds long. That's called How Canada's Fueling New Zealand's Growing METH Addiction. And then, you know, that's the guy for people that didn't see it, or maybe they did and it went off. My tremors are just shot. And when life gets more stressful for me, they're even worse. Trying to keep it's mostly my hands. If they're like this, it's not quite as bad. All right. Well, yeah. So little did he know that a swig of beer would kill him. Aiden didn't realize that that can was full of liquid METH, not beer. All right. His boss gifted him cases of the beer, which he brought back home. He had never tried Canadian beer before. Says Aiden and Billy were lounging at home with a friend when they decided to have some of the tall cans labeled as Honey Bear beer from Canada. Billy was excited to try Canadian beer for the first time. We thought it was a new brand that's about to start up in New Zealand, and we saw the Canadian logo, the flag logo. It was like, oh, cool. We thought it was from Canada. That's pretty cool then, Billy told Avery Haynes. So this is the guy that was having a beer with him. So what did he do? His must have tasted okay. After Aiden took a gulp, he asked Billy if something tasted off. Hey, bro, does the beer taste salty? Billy told him his beer tasted fine, so Aiden asked him to try his. I went to have a taste to see what he meant, so I only took a sip, but I spat that out real fast. It tasted like sea salt with chemicals. I told him I didn't fully swallow. Aiden then went to phone his mom, and things spiraled from there. He came out of his room minutes after and told his brother-in-law he thought he was about to die. Billy tried to calm down a panicked Aiden, but was unsuccessful. He became increasingly agitated and physically aggressive. Billy attempted to hold him down, but Aiden kept trying to throw him off. He was screaming out, I want my mom, I want my mom, I'm dying, I want my mom, I'm dying, I want my mom. Aiden's mom listened helplessly as he hadn't hung up the phone yet. And even though we just saw a video on it. Here's just part of the room of those cans of beer. Oh, killing time. I helped my mom a lot the last few years of her life because I was working and I could afford it. I lost her in 2018. You lost 90% of your belongings, killing time, a year ago when you were hospitalized and had to move. Yeah, I knew you moved back then. So then he said to me, oh, in a panic, Billy called his wife, Angela, who rushed home to try to help her brother. He said to me, sis, I'm dying. And I said, you are absolutely not dying. Not today, not on my watch. Aiden's face turned blue. His sister called an ambulance, but it took an hour for the paramedics to arrive. Wow. A doctor herself, Angela, began performing CPR on her little brother in the meantime. Aiden fell into a coma and died 5 days later. The cause of death was multiple organ failure from a lethal dose of meth, amphetamine, and illegal and highly addictive synthetic stimulant. He did die on my watch. It's so hard to relive the fact that those were the last words that my brother had spoken. He died in my arms that day. That single can of beer that Aiden drank from would unravel a massive transnational drug smuggling ring with networks in India, the United States, and Canada. Wow. Once New Zealand police began investigating Aiden's death, their case led them to a storage unit in Auckland, New Zealand, which they subsequently raided. Authorities estimated to have discovered around 700 kilograms of liquid meth. I'm saying it, but on my live in the news, they said it over and over again. So I really hope I don't get in trouble from TOS. I'm trying to do everything right, but we'll have to see. Police say Baltej Singh, the owner of a local supermarket, had imported large amounts of meth disguised as beverages into New Zealand in recent years. They included shipments of kombucha. Isn't that a T, you guys? Kombucha. No. Oh my God, I bought kombucha here at Fred Meyer. That's where I got, they included shipments of kombucha from the US, coconut water from India, and nearly 29,000 cans of the Honey Bear beer from Toronto. I'm not making this up. We tried different kinds of coconut water. These young students, they didn't know, were standing in the aisles. This was probably 3 years ago. And, I had food stamps, so why not get some? And we did, and we drank them all. And to think that possibly there was liquid meth in some of those. I mean, isn't that what I just read? I mean, we're fine, but... And now this is a close-up picture of it. That should stay standard or whatever. The leaf, the word Honey Bear, and there it is. Don't drink it. Ever. Aiden's boss, a man named Hamajit Jimmy Cologne, was captured on security camera removing cases of beer from the unit. Oh my gosh. So it was probably just on this video but I didn't know his boss was involved in this stuff. His boss went ahead and gave him what even slightly could have been tainted, poisoned beer knowingly, because it says he was captured on security camera removing cases of beer from the unit. He was accused of helping process the liquid METH into crystal METH. Cologne was then giving away the excess cans that actually contained beer, accidentally leaving some cans that were still full of liquid METH. Okay, so maybe he didn't think there was any in what he gave him, but still. And there's a picture of his boss with a policeman. I know it's really kind of small, but oh well. Cologne would be charged with manslaughter in Aiden's death. Police also charged Singh, who's a respected businessman in Auckland and comes from a prominent family in India, for running the import operation. Aiden's death sent shockwaves through New Zealand and led to what is the single biggest METH seizure in the country's history. Okay, so, and apparently this happened a month ago, or 3.5 weeks ago. I think it was October. No, that was a different. When did this happen? No, this happened a few years ago. Okay. According to Detective Superintendent Greg Williams, head of the New Zealand's National Organized Crime Group, METH costs more in New Zealand than anywhere else in the world. In Mexico, METH costs about $500 a kilogram. In Canada, that same amount sells for $10,000. While in New Zealand, 1 kilogram sells for almost $300,000. Transnational crime groups look at the countries like New Zealand and go, this is the golden nugget. Like, I'm going to make a lot more money bringing product to New Zealand. Okay, so this is why they choose New Zealand. Criminals smuggle drugs into the country in various ingenious ways, like hiding the METH inside machinery and disguising it in food products like maple syrup and beer. While U.S. President Trump has been making false claims that the volume of FENT coming to the U.S. from Canada is massive, Canada Border Services Agency officials say Canada is not a significant source of FENT into the U.S. However, Canada is flooding New Zealand with METH. From 2020 to 2024, New Zealand seized more METH from Canada than from any other country in the world. 1,200 kilograms with an estimated street value of about $350 million. According to the RCMP intelligence document, international gangs, including Mexican cartels, are increasingly using the Port of Vancouver as a launching point for shipments of METH bound for countries like New Zealand and Australia, where it fetches a far higher price. Good Lord, I'm 20 minutes from the Canadian border over here. And Vancouver is, I believe it's an hour and a half from where I am. And then, of course, there's a picture of it. In 2023, a particularly busy year, New Zealand customs agents seized over 800 kilograms of METH exported from Canada, which is more than any other country. Again, in 2024, Canada topped the list for METH seizures in New Zealand, with 174 seized shipments originating from here. 174 seized shipments. Wow. New Zealand is the grips of an METH crisis. Wastewater testing suggests that METH consumption almost doubled from 2023 to 2024. Wow. According to Detective Superintendent Greg Williams, his team has noticed a sizable upward trend of METH coming from Canada in the last several years. Organized crime is setting itself up in places where it believes it can produce tonnage and then believes that it can ship from those countries. There was just this, is it tonnage, coming our way out of Canada. In February 2025, Aiden's boss, Cologne, was sentenced to 21 years. That's it? In prison for manslaughter and for possession of METH for supply. 21 years. They get so much less time in other countries. They really do. They get, like, you can MURDER someone, and they have this extravagant prison system. I believe it's in Poland, because I did an article on it like 2 years ago. You can be out in 16 years. Like, there's a maximum amount. It's ridiculous. I just cannot believe it. He is currently appealing that decision. Police arrested Singh at Auckland's airport, where he was on his way to board a flight to Dubai that he had booked that same day. He was sentenced to 22 years for importing METH, possession of METH for supply, importing ephedrine, and possession of cocaine for supply. I was probably supposed to spell that too. Meanwhile, no one has been charged in Canada for their role in exporting the liquid METH that killed Aiden, something that his brother-in-law finds unimaginable. Shut them down and take them to jail. I'll be very brutal about this, his brother said. This is MURDER. To be honest, I see it as MURDER. Wow, you guys, that is really something scary. I'll let you guys look up your own stuff about syrup and canola oil. I have one more story that the woman lived, but it's very sad. And I read it last night and I was like, I'm going to share this. And it's close to me. Or it happened in Seattle, 2 hours from where I am. I'm 2 hours from Seattle. Here it is. Man accused of biting off 88-year-old woman's finger during robbery for a ring. Can you believe it? This happened on, I believe, October 14th. And I read the article. She was on her back porch, or maybe front porch, sweeping and tidying up. 88. And she heard a man breathing behind her. She told one of her sons, she has 3 older sons, and she almost died. And he left with her finger with the ring on it. Oh, killing time. She's still applying, still looking. She just applied 3 days ago to 2 places. It's so hard when the economy is like this, and grown adults that have their own places have to move back home with their families. There aren't extra jobs. You have no experience. It's just, it's rough. So this article, this is Como 4 News. Okay, why are they? Oh. A lot of kids out at the playground, which is a good thing, you know?
A desperate plea to find the suspect who brutally beat an elderly woman, biting off her finger in order to rob her of her jewelry. Good evening, I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. The violent attack left the 88-year-old woman with fractured ribs, a missing finger, and serious head injury she's still recovering from. This happened in Seattle's Rainier Beach neighborhood on the 9900 block of 64th Avenue South on October 13th.
That's where Como's Lynn Ann Wynn joins us live tonight with the latest on the search for that suspect. Lynn Ann?
Well, the victim's sons told us about that brutal attack. It was hard to listen to those details, let alone imagine what that 88-year-old woman went through. Her sons calling her both a miracle and a hero for surviving that.
This guy was trying to take everything she had from her. And when it didn't result, he bit her finger off. Come on, you know?
Marvin Cotton and his brothers are in awe of their 88-year-old mother, Emma, who survived a brutal attack outside her home on October 13th, when a man snuck up behind her as she was working on her back porch and began viciously beating her.
You know, my mom only weighs 100 pounds, sopping wet. And, you know, it definitely was something spiritual that happened while she's still here, how she fought this guy off.
Seattle police released photos of this man, believed to be the suspect who attacked Emma Cotton, lovingly known as Mama Cotton to her church community.
Maybe he had some problems that we don't know about, so I forgive him. Said, I don't want him around doing to anybody else, but I do forgive him. And when she said that to me, man, my heart just kind of,
Cotton's sons say the suspect bit her finger off trying to get her ring, leaving her with serious injuries and now missing her right index finger.
When I went in the room and saw my mother, now this is my mother, I didn't even recognize her. I almost fainted.
The Cottons urging anyone who recognizes this individual to contact Seattle police immediately.
We want this injustice to be righted, and nothing will bring us more peace than to know that it won't happen again.
It's major that we catch this person. It's major. I think that will be the piece that she needs to hear, that we caught him and that he's off the street.
Again, if you recognize anything about the suspect in that surveillance video or those photos, you're urged to contact Seattle police or Crime Stoppers, and tips can remain anonymous. Reporting live in Seattle tonight, Lynn Ann Wynn, Como News.
Unreal. And he looks African American to me, but I don't really know. See, look at that face on the far right. I mean, I don't know though. His cheek looks white. I mean, what? I mean, wow. This was in the middle of the day, too, you guys. 88 is, that's old. She had a fracture over her eye, a fractured cheekbone, and a fractured rib. The hand she writes with, she can't even sign her name anymore. Her index finger is gone on her right hand. Her toes were fractured. I mean, they need to catch this they need to catch this person. You know? I mean, you're being watched when you're sweeping your porch. I mean, it's not even safe to like walk your dog in Seattle probably. Good grief. Oh, your daughter, DTR's daughter. Okay. Oh, your daughter was born in Nebraska. She's half Mexican, has a Hispanic name and dark skin, and is very scared of getting picked up. She's 19. Oh, that's so sad, Killing Time. I was ordered 350 and I got 311 because the child support went for the kids. Oh my gosh. I mean, see, that's the thing. I try to look, well, honestly, first I look at the cup half empty. I mean, that's what I do. You face these, but then you've got to face these things and try to find the positive. I feel so bad for your daughter, Killing Time. That's the thing. I really do. Prayers for her, hun. Prayers for anyone else that needs them in chat. Thanks for everyone that came here and said hi to me. Thank you for the super chats. That's just so sweet. Thank you so much. Is it going to show them? Let me see. Where are they? Oh, there they are. So right here, where do I hit? Show. I got that one. Buttercup Maria, $1.99. Thank you so much. Love you, Tina. I got that one. Love you, sweetie, from Luna, $2. Thank you so much. And Moonlight Stargazer 777 with smiley faces. Thank you so much. $5. You guys, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I got the 2 from AK-47 for $1.99. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. That's $11 on my way to the 100 I need to get anything for my super chats. And I'll say it again. It'll sit right on my card and go towards rent, period. I mean, I have to start being even more careful with like tearing off small pieces of the paper towel, if a cat eats too fast. Sometimes that happens with the mama kitty and she throws up. I might have to just literally not buy paper towels anymore, you know what I mean? And use the old dishcloths and shake the stuff in the garbage and wash them. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, because you've got to buy toilet paper. You got to get toothpaste. At least you get those real little ones, right, at the dentist. But thank you, everybody, so much. And there we go. And really quickly, because I meant to run it through, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I have this $ paper cut Tina for my Cash App, and at Dakota Dame, and my birth date 0627, and that is for my PayPal. So thank you, everybody, and I'm going to end now. I've got to charge this anyway. Prayers for that poor woman, Miss Cotton, the 88-year-old that went through such a scary, horrible time. I also could, like, even though I didn't lose my finger, I know that feeling of almost losing it and how scary it is when I got mine slammed in the door. See how it's pinky peach all the way down, but on this one it's purpley whatever and whiter here. It gets cold quickly, but it's okay. I didn't lose my finger, right? Thank you, everyone. This is Brewed Awakening with PCT without any coffee today. I need to go make some. I love you guys, and I hope I can do a live tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to go live. I'll get back. Hide. I keep trying to. I'll get back. Show comments. There we go. I'll get back into the groove of things, especially after my procedure and things like this. It's nothing horrible, but hoping the test results are positive, and I should know that next week. So I wasn't even going to go live until then, and I was like, you know, I miss my peeps. These are incredible stories, and I want to thank my subs and my new subs and show you guys my Korean wolf cut. So yeah, bye for now. Thank you everybody so much.